Welcome to our weekly episode here, Friday Night Meta, and we got quite a bit going on because we've closed out February leap year and have headed now into March. Excited about what we got going on in today's episode. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoy it, make sure to like and subscribe. On top of that, if you got a question or comment throughout the way, let me know. I love to hear from you, and feel free to join us in our amazing active Discord server, my friends. Down below, you'll find today's timestamps as we walk across each of the formats, best of one and best of three, and pull it all back together as we always do. So let's get into it here. First and foremost, like I said, February has came to a close. We'll look at some of those differences and what is currently hot out of the gate here for March, my friends. And oh my, I can't believe it's already March. So with that, let's go ahead and check out what's happening in our Murders at Karlov Manor standard. All right, so best of one right now, we still have Boros Convoke at the top, Mono Red Aggro, Jeskai Control there, Azor's Control, Selesnya Enchantments, Mono Blue Tempo, Orzhov Amalia, and Mono Black Aggro. Now, again, this is everything at aggregate. We're not going to have anything at Mythic right now. Tons and tons of everything. It's either going to be Mono Red or Boros Convoke for the most part. You can guarantee almost one out of every two decks between those two there. However, here is what we have in terms of the release and how these things were trending there for us in February and out of the gate. So here you can see exactly what's happening in terms of that popularity as well as in terms of that win rate. Big jump there out of the gate for Boros Convoke, about a couple percent. Similar to Mono Red, everything else kind of lifted as well, which is interesting. So we'll continue to monitor that as March unfolds. Let's go ahead and take a look at best of three today. Here we go for best of three. Boros Convoke at the top, Zor's Control, 4-color Domain, Esper midrange, Mono Red Aggro, Golgari midrange, 4-color Reanimator, and Dimmer midrange. Here on the right, pretty healthy in terms of the splits, really. When you get down to the fifth spot there with Golgari midrange, lots of midrange, Convoke, Control in there as well. And then here you go, you can see how these things have kind of panned out over the course of February and where they're at right now as we move into March right here out of the gate as well. So let's go ahead. That concludes standard. What's going on for us in Explorer here, my friends? We got Abzan Amalia, Boros Heroic, Abzan Greasefang, Mono Red Aggro, Azor's Control, Selesnya Angels, Izzet Phoenix, Gruul Aggro there. Pretty split here at these 10% for the first four. And then you can see again how this has been trending in terms of popularity. Mono Blue, or sorry, Azor's Control popping down while we have Izzet Phoenix really popping up. Again, that's pretty typical a lot of times in the aggro stuff right out of the gate. And then additionally, Abzan Malia here as well. So you can see that big drop though, in terms of that win rate, a little bit more of compression out of the gate here for March. Let's see what's going on in best of three for Explorer. Here we have Abzan Amalia, Rakdos midrange, Boros Convoke, Mono Black midrange, Boros Heroic, and two decks under 50%. For best of three, lots on Izzet Phoenix and Azor's Control, and then you can see how these things have been trending. Really that Izzet Phoenix list really moving up, and then Rakdos midrange still in there, and here's the rest as well in terms of those win rates. Lots of stuff for us to keep an eye on. Obviously, these two were above 50%, but haven't been doing well, at least for the start here for March. So that concludes Explorer, my friends. Let's take a look at Alchemy. This week, we do have a new release coming out for Alchemy, so we do expect some changes here as well. I believe it's March 5th. Here, though, in the Alchemy meta, we do have Jund midrange, Mono Red Aggro, Mono Black Nazgul, Orzhov midrange, Gruul Dinosaurs, Azora Soldiers, Mono Red Burn, and Gruul Burn. And then there on the right, lots on Mono Red Burn, Soldiers in there, Orzhov midrange, and so forth. And there you can see that Mono Red Burn climb, and then additionally Mono Red Burn there. Out of the gate, everything else kind of had a little bit of a drop in terms of what's happening there. And then win rate over time, boom, Boros Humans, 87%. Look at that. Boop. All right, there you go. Mono Red Aggro, everything else, big spread as we start out here for March. Let's go ahead and check out best of three, my friends. In terms of best of three, we got Esper Control, Gruul Burn, Orzhov Control, and Mono Red Aggro. Really dominated by Orzhov Control and Gruul Burn. And then you can see how these things have also played out. So that is Alchemy best of three, and concludes Alchemy. Like I said, a new drop here this week, I believe. And then we're into historic best of one. We have Mono Red Aggro at the top, Dimmer Ninjas, Azorius Control, Is It Wizards, Mono Green Elves, Mono White Life Gain, 4-color Leyline, and Mono Black Control. Then on the right, 20% on Is It Wizards, 4-color Leyline at 13, Mono Green Elves, Azorius Control, Mono Black Control, Doomer Ninjas, Mono Red Aggro, Mono White Life Gain. And then here you can see again how this is doing. Big jump there for 4-color Leyline, at least at the start. And then here, as you can see, a little bit more compression and some drops there in terms of those win rates. Again, fairly typical when we get into the start of a new month as well, because everything gets snapped back together. Best of 3 here. We got Teamer Gates, Is It Wizards, Azorius Control, Mono Green Devotion. Nice to see Gates at the top. And there you go in terms of what we're seeing there out of the gate. No pun intended. There it is. Look at that big jump up. Love it. Love seeing that. Definitely interesting and something else we'll keep an eye on as always. All right. So that concludes Historic. Now we're going to take a look at Timeless. So here in Timeless, we do have Rakdos Burn, Rakdos Storm. So very close there. 5-color Domain, 4-color Omnitel, and 4-color Leyline, Jund Midrange, 5-color Wanada, and Mono Green Titan. Here you got that 4-color Omnitel at almost 20%, 5-color Domain behind that. Everything else kind of close. Big skip there in that 4-color Omnitel. And then here you go. You can see that big jump in popularity in terms of what's going on. And then also the win rates here getting compressed. Like we said, similar kind of thing going on across each of the formats. Here for March. And then let's take a look at best of 3 here. In best of 3, we do have Jund Midrange, 5-color Domain, Mono Green Titan, 4-color Yawgmoth, Grixis Shadow, 4-color Natural Order, Rakdos Burn, and Is It Tempo. 22%, 11, almost 12%. So lots bundled there. And then here again, look at that popularity. Boom, 5-color. Big jump. A little bit there as well for Jund Midrange. Here on the win rates, again, big compression. Look at this one. Boom, Soul Time Midrange fall all the way down. Anyway, lots of things for us to keep an eye on here across each of the formats. Let's go ahead and take a look at Historic Brawl, though. And that's our final one. So we got Ragavan, Nimble Pilfer. We got Voja in here as well. Roscoe, Mythweaver, Lelia, the Blade Reforged, the First Sliver, Troxa, and Itali. So some newcomers here when it comes to Historic Brawl, which is nice. And here, look at this. Boom. Lelia in there in terms of that popularity. Big spike here over the last week. And then here, similar to that win rate. Look at that. Ragavan. Well, actually, that's Ragavan. Lelia is right there. And then we see some of this other stuff coming off. And Voja doing fairly well there, coming back in. As you see some of those things moving in and out and making some of those changes. So that, my friends, is our snapshot here for the week as we transition from February into March. Everything's snapping back for the reset, as we like to say here, for the new season for this month. With that, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you got a question, if you got a comment, certainly let me know. I'd love to hear from you, or feel free to join us in the Discord server, like I say. On top of that, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for tuning in. As always, I appreciate your support. Thank you for the likes and the subs, as always, and thank you to all of our members. Membership's a nice way to support the channel. And we got priority access, emotes, icons, those kinds of things there for you too. Additionally, we do have affiliate links. You can check those out if you're looking for cards, all kinds of other stuff there for you. It's a nice way to support, so thank you for that. And lastly, don't forget about our socials. At me, chat me, as I like to say, and stay connected. What decks are you playing? What are you having fun with? Lots of you ask lots of great questions, and I really appreciate that and the feedback. So with that, we'll see you again soon next week. And in the meantime, we got tons of decks and other stuff headed your way always here on the channel. Take care, my friends, and enjoy some magic.